Welcome back once again, and I guess it's time for one of our most interesting segments, of course, the International Volunteer Day, the IVD, and it is actually celebrated globally on every December 5th of each year. And in 2025, Moscow in particular, and worldwide focused over the theme, every contribution matters. And that was actually, we're going to be taking more details from our dear guest here in the studio, but the origin of this event was in Moscow, and it marked the launch of the International Year of Volunteers for Sustainable Development, IVY 2026, with global UN initiatives highlighting volunteer power of the 2030 agenda. And of course, during this celebration, Egypt gained the highest international volunteer prize. They earned it, of course, with their own efforts. We're very delighted to be having with us here our dear guest, Dr. Naglaa Fathy. She's a development and humanitarian projects consultant, and also she's an international youth ambassador, and she led this Egyptian historic achievement in history of humanitarian volunteering work. Good morning, Dr. Naglaa.
Good morning.
That's quite an achievement that you have done. Before air, I was talking with you, and I can clearly witness the precision and the energetic soul that you possess. You have targets, and you are precise on achieving them. But then this particular award is very precious to Egypt.
Yes, it is.
On behalf of all Egyptians, I would like to thank you for this. But we need to learn about the International Volunteering Day, and why was that day chosen in particular?
Actually, every international day, it is chosen by the UN agency related to. So the UN volunteer chooses the 5th of December to mark for the International Volunteer Day. So every year, the UN volunteers or international organizations, national and non-governmental organizations, they celebrate the volunteers and they mark their efforts. I work in the Egyptian Red Crescent, and International Volunteer Day is one of the biggest days in our year, because we have more than 30,000 volunteers all over Egypt, and we celebrate them, we mark their efforts, because without volunteering, the civil society would not be exist. Yeah, we have NGOs, we have NGOs, but who is the arm of the civil society?
But
is
you
the
are
volunteers.
Part of civil society also.
Yes, yeah, I'm working as senior health specialist at Egyptian Red Crescent. Yeah, and also I'm the Global Youth Ambassador of Egypt since 2014. I'm now bossing to someone else, because because my birthday was like 2 days ago, so I'm out of the youth age. So I will be selecting someone who will be the Global Youth Ambassador of Egypt. And this team has made a lot of initiatives, a lot of world-winning initiatives and community work since 2014. We are actually celebrating this year our 10 years, like a decade of humanitarian and development work.
Right, but then if I want you to explain to our viewers the most important terms or conditions for me to be a volunteer. I mean, in order to be a volunteer, because for some of the people, they do not really understand exactly the task of a volunteer.
You can be a volunteer in any association or organization, or even with the United Nations, UNV, United Nations for Volunteers. You can have a volunteering opportunity. But what do you need to have to be accepted as a volunteer?
Yes.
You have to have a passion to community service. You have to know well what you want, what is your goal from this working in the community. Because some volunteers think that volunteerism is about money or gaining allowances. Allowances is not a volunteering thing. You should, like God what asked for, that we implement and invent in our community to seek the better change. So you have to believe in what you want, you have to have defined objectives, and you have to also, you don't have to have like high skills or talents. You just have to know the basics. You don't have to know English, you just know what you want, what sectors you want to volunteer inside, like youth sector, empowering women or children, or just the humanitarian actions. So you decide what you want, you just search for an NGO that meet your objectives, and you apply for them. You do good in your interviews, how you can do good through like sharing your passion very well, and not focusing on only yourself. You are focusing on the community change. Like I always say to my participants and my volunteers, you have to start changing yourself if you want to change the community. Like Nelson Mandela said, be the change you want to see in the future. So you want to be the change we want to see in the community. That's the most important thing.
Hopefully. But then some reservations come, like people might say, if I volunteer, then I'll have to have, this is going to involve me in hotspots, dangerous places, sometimes in pandemics. I can catch disease, I can endanger my life, I can endanger my time, I can get into trouble, because usually volunteering is in crisis. And volunteering are in dire, for people with dire need. And this is a sublime assignment.
Yeah,
actually, we're not opposing it.
Yeah, it's like a hypothesis, but most of the organization now have like security permission before they let their volunteer enter a crisis area. They have even like health insurance for them, and they have to train them first before they implement anything. So you will be secured. Sorry, you will be secured, and you will be like trained first before you do something, and you have to follow the protections and precautions, so it is completely safe. Even during the corona, my team won the international prize for the first place in Middle East in this prize too, because we have developed a game called Corona Race, and we went to the area that is marginalized, and we supported the government to raise awareness about corona, to how to protect yourself, how to bury your dead ones, and we were completely safe. We didn't even get the corona because we have precautions, we have tools that we use.
Right. Everybody who might be watching us right now might have these questions crossing their minds, like talk to us about the most endangering or the most important or the very important highlights in your career as a volunteer. Like if you went to, for example, you can go to Gaza, you can go to Africa, and you can go to places where there is famine, where there are wars, where, I mean, different places with high challenges, high rate of challenges.
Yeah, this is the thing we call humanitarian aid in crisis, but not every volunteer can participate in. This is for the well-developed, advanced, trained volunteers. Not everyone can do this. Even with the government, you can, the employees and doctors with the government, they can do this, and they can go to these places, except if they are trained well. They have like long years of volunteerism. So if you have been chosen to do this, that means that you are able to do it. So
qualified.
Yeah, and qualified. I never been in a crisis situation. Like I just trained the volunteers who are going to this.
But you have been a volunteer. You started.
Yeah, I have been a volunteer in 25 years.
But then let me ask you, what are the fields for volunteering? And there are other fields that there is no volunteering for. I mean, like all fields, humanitarian aid, like.
We have the Sustainable Development Goals. It is like divided by fields of interest and fields that we need to, they are 17 sustainable development goals.
It's the 17 goals of
yes, so mostly you will be volunteering in one of these goals. You will have one of these goals focusing on either, like in my team we focus on goal number 3, which is health and well-being, goal number 5, which is equality, gender equality, goal number 16 and 17 for peace and collaboration, and recently we are focusing on climate change goals, which is 13, 14, 15, and when you have a goal that you are focusing on, you will study around it, you will be trained around it, and you will implement a project around it.
Right. So do you think that also each volunteer, once they are trained, they are assigned and they should execute their mission, or it is according to their choice, since there is no allowance and there is no...
sometimes there is an allowance, but it is about the transportation allowance. They don't get paid for being a volunteer.
Yes, but I'm not talking about the money, I'm talking about the urge and passion. Not everybody is like you. There are some people who come with rates of passion.
Yeah, there is like what we call leak of volunteerism, or leak of volunteering out of NGO, but because extracurricular activity is something now, it is very important for your CV and for your own development, like your for personal development. So yeah, they can go like away during the task, but this is not responsibility. Like it will be known in the volunteering sector that you dismiss the task,
You
or
will be
you just-
rated for
yeah,
this.
and you get a score of it, and you can get even credit hours now. So if you are a responsible person, you will not go away from a task. You will finish your task, and you can give excuses if you are sick, if you have family emergency. You can give these excuses, but if you have a task, you have to complete it, and you have to follow your passion. It is like Mariam Amin, who won this year prize. She won, and her team Misha, they won the first place on the whole world. This is a dream for
That was the one in Russia. Talk to
Yes.
us about the mission in Russia and how exactly did it originate. You said that President Putin
Yes,
was the one who
yes.
initiated this.
Yeah,
Talk to us about the whole story.
After Corona, President Vladimir Putin and the youth agency, like it is like the youth ministry in Egypt, they tried to support the volunteer and honoring them, because volunteerism and volunteers were the main arm in the Corona also. With
That was in Russia?
Yeah, it was everywhere. The
No, I'm
volunteers
talking
was-
about this particular one when you won
Yes,
the prize.
yes. I'm giving you the like how it originated. It was
Okay,
2020 that some people, like the organizers, the project office of We Are Together Prize, they came with this idea, and the first honoring was on 2021 when we were honored. Our global youth ambassador team were honored for their Corona Race game and Corona Race project. And selected as the first place in Middle East. Then every year at the International Volunteer Day, President Vladimir Putin and We Are Together Prize, they they award the best projects, the best humanitarian actions, the best development projects around the world. They select the best 9, and this year was the best 6, because that was in 2 sectors only. They select people who are doing humanitarian aids or health aids, emergency response, sustainable future, and even entrepreneurship. This year was about sustainable future and humanitarian aids, and we won the first place in both. And President Vladimir Putin was attending, and we have received the award by the famous actor Steven Seagal by himself, representing the President Vladimir Putin on the biggest international and national theater in Moscow, and that was even aired on the national TV of Russia. It was amazing. It was like a surprise for us with the
It's not a surprise at all, because you deserve it. You deserve every bit of it. But then tell us on the story of each one of them in detail. Why were you? You said you had 2 awards.
Yeah.
The first award. What was the story about the first award?
Okay. We actually got 2 places. Like on 2021, we got. The first in Middle East award, this award with our project in the Corona, and the second one was on 2023. We also get the first place on Middle East with our Heart is the Language. It's an initiative that we made for teaching volunteers the sign language, for supporting hospitals, hospital employees to learn the sign language to be able to serve the people with hearing disability. And it was and we actually won also the best prize from the Ministry of Youth here in Egypt, and then we competed on the international level and won the first place on Middle East. But this year we won the first of the best one, like the first worldwide with our project Asa Ismisha, which means Asa Ismisha. It's about recycling and teaching youth and children how to recycle their home waste, either it is plastic, even old games like old toys with for the children, fabrics. We teach we teach the youth, and then the youth teach the younger children, like the teenagers or 8 years to 17 years, and they teach them how to produce new material, like new frames, new artwork, useful material from the fabric and the plastic. And then those children are going to make like huge number of these giveaways and gifts, and they are going in next year to display it and disseminate it for the children most in need. in the villages. All over Egypt, especially in Upper Egypt. They are going to the places that no one goes and gives this like as a gift for the children there, and that was the unique thing about it. That's why we won, because we combine youth, we combine awareness, we talk about even reproductive health through this art workshop of recycling, and now we are going to make an impact more with spreading these gifts from recycled material to the children. And even our children made like photo frame from recycled paper, and this photo frame I took it to one of the most amazing and well-known international conference on family planning and public health in Colombia 2 weeks ago, and we give this as a gift for the highest organizations that are organizing this conference, and they admired it, and they didn't even like they were surprised how this is from recycled materials that made by 8 years old child, and it was amazing.
That was the last one, your last project.
Yeah, that is the project that won the prize.
Okay, but then another curious question might cross everybody's mind, like, who comes with these inspirational ideas? It is the leaders like you? I mean, were all these ideas that grabbed the awards were yours?
It was mine, but it can't be done without my team, because sometimes
very modest.
Yeah, it can't be done because I need the team to do it. But also sometimes, like Mariam, when she had this idea, she said, I would like to recycle plastic to make beds for homeless people and homeless children. So she needs someone to guide her and mentor her how to do this, and we worked together how we are going to do this. So I supported her, and we have a board team, and we have facilitators in every governorate. So we gathered together and make this like a plan, and we applied for the award, and she won. She won by her idea and by guidance. So we have to combine guidance, the idea, and the team to do it.
And the team and the spirit.
Yes,
I need to ask another very, very urgent question. It's very important for everybody to know. So you're doing great things, and you grab awards for Egypt, and you also help society a great deal, like making beds for homeless from recycling materials, which is such a sublime, such a great thing. I would like to share in it. But then, in order to be able to make this into reality, you have to have so many values together, put it together in order to execute this mission. Like to have the teamwork, like not to fight and not to compete, not to be able to, to share things together and have this. So just explain to me, because we don't have really time on it, but it's very important.
Yeah, in my team we believe in 6 values, and we believe that we are family, and we always say the family is GET, which is Global Youth Ambassador Team in Egypt. That's how we are unique. We are not like any other organization.
No grudges, nothing. The team.
Yeah, we deal with ourselves like a family. Like we support our team members if they have a crisis or something, and we believe in 6 values, which is freedom, humanity, equity, equality, and most important for us is loyalty. Loyalty to your purpose, loyalty to your team, loyalty to your team members. That's what like keep us stronger. And even when we have like ups and downs, we come back and say we have values, and we have to adapt these values.
Of course you have conflicts, just like any other human being, but you try to overcome this conflict.
Yes, we try to overcome it by remembering our values. And we also, like, we have...
remembering your success together.
Yes, yeah, sometimes we...
Really a great appreciation to you and your team, and you in particular, because you are a founder of such a great mission. I hope you continue. All the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And you achieve all your dreams. You're such a great person. Dr. Naglaa Fathy, Development and Humanitarian Projects Consultant, Regional Expert, International Youth Ambassador, and an award-earning, continuous earning person. Thank you so much for coming to the breakfast show. It has been a pleasure knowing you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the breakfast show, so stay with us.